Hello, everybody. It's the afternoon. I was going to make this a subscriber only video because I owe the subscribers a little bit of private access, and I'm going to be doing an event this evening that I may take you behind the scenes for. If you are a subscriber, we'll talk about how to become a subscriber in just a bit, but there's three. I'm going to make this brief because my son should wake up any minute now. He's asleep, and we're going to give him till 4:30. If he doesn't wake up, we're going to wake him up because we don't want him to sleep too late. And my wife is working in her office, so I'm going to be relatively muted. But there are two items, maybe three items, that I need your attention on, and we need the widest possible audience for this before I bring these to your attention. So please go ahead and share this video on Facebook or Twitter or YouTube, wherever you're watching. If you're not comfortable sharing, give us a like so that more people see the algorithm. I don't know how the algorithm works, but I know it responds to likes and comments and hearts and that kind of thing. Three items that I need your attention on. One, this is a flip video camera. These things are pretty cool. They're very easy way to shoot video. You just turn it on, press this red button, point in the direction of what you want to shoot, and then you can pop this thing into any computer with a USB, and it will, take the video files off there. It's really cool. I've been using them for years, and I have two of these. Have not used them in a while. And I tried to turn it on, and as you can see, nothing happens. So I think, all right, batteries must be dead, and it must need to be changed. So not only are I put in new batteries, but the problem is, and this happens with a lot of old pieces of equipment, it's a little corroded. So I cleaned out all the green stuff. I went online and saw instructions about how to clean them out. And I used, they say use white vinegar and a cotton swab, but now there's still some. Maybe I'll try and do some more now to see if I can get it to work, but it's still not turning on. And I'm wondering if anybody else, if I do a better job cleaning them with the white vinegar, will that help at all? Will I be able to eventually, if I get every bit of that green stuff out of there, will I be able to use this device? If anyone has the answer to that, please comment and let me know, and I will be happy to, I will be happy to get you that. Joseph asks, "Where's my pen?" Joseph, you were our first Facebook subscriber, so I actually am going to send you a pen. You know what you do, Joseph? Message me. He says, "Sorry, pen. Sorry, alcohol and a tip." If you message me your address, I will mail you a pen. I'll do that. I'll take care of that tomorrow. I have to leave early today, so today's a bit hectic because I have this event in Brooklyn, which only the subscribers will know about. If you want to become a subscriber, you can, as you're watching this video, do as Brandon suggests and click the overview button under the comments box and scroll to the bottom and click the subscribe button. It's only 99 cents a month. It's the best 99 cents you're going to spend. All right. So Rob says get a toothbrush and it will work. So Rob, just so I'm clear, do I get the toothbrush and put white vinegar on the toothbrush and kind of brush it with white vinegar? Or do I just use the toothbrush without anything on it? And let me know if this has actually worked for you before I take your advice to the letter. And let me know. Oh, geez, who's calling here? Who's it? No, okay, I'm on a group text. The phone just buzzes. I hate that phone buzzing. So that's that. Item number 2. Gmail drives me so crazy. There are a lot of things I like about it, namely the searchability feature, but there's so many things I dislike about it, meaning it just randomly decides to stop following when I like to read all the emails in chronological order. I have a little bit of an OCD tendency that way. And it just randomly decides to stop going in chronological order. And then all of a sudden I'll be going chronological. And then all of a sudden I see it's skipped a whole day's worth of email. It's like watching a movie from the middle. I hate that. So, but even more so than that, it was doing this thing this morning that was driving me crazy, meaning I had gotten to the end of my email box. Finally, it took me 3 days to get there, but I finally got to the end of my email box and it shows I have one unread email. Now, there was no unread email. There was none. I went back, I said, looked, anything else that was unread, couldn't find it, but it still has that indication of one unread email. So I go to the top, the button over primary, and I go to the top and try to write, mark all unread emails as read. And then you know what it says? It says you have no unread emails. No unread emails. So why are you showing that there's an unread email there? Now, I don't know if that's still the case now, because now I have a whole bunch of unread emails that came in while I was asleep. So until I get to the end of all these new emails, I won't know if it still has that suggestion. So if you have any expertise in navigating Gmail, let me know. All right, Rob says yes, use vinegar with it. Okay, so I'll find an unused toothbrush, or a toothbrush that we have retired but not yet thrown away. I'll throw a little white vinegar on there, and I will try that. I'll see if that works, because that's nice. Leanne Colacurdo checking in. Hi, Frank. All right. Rob says, go to Target and buy a camera with a lithium battery. They're under $100. Okay. Last thing that I will mention is not the last thing I will mention. The last thing that I need your help with is, the other day we did one of these videos where I said we need 3 people to buy one of these Frank Morano bundles at WABCRadiostore.com. And it's a cool thing. There's a shirt in there, personal message from me, 2 shirts, a mug, only $82, great gift. There's a lot of other good stuff on there as well. And when they made this bundle, they said to me, oh, let's try and get at least 3 orders sold this week. No, I figured that's nothing, 3 orders. So when I did this video on Saturday, I asked you, please just go online and order 3 of these. And so I figured, all right, we definitely sold 3 of these. And I reached out to the people at the WABC radio store today. I said, hey, how many we sold? I figured he's going to say 10, 12, 15, 20. 0. We sold 0 orders. How can that be? How can that be? This is good stuff here, guys. So go to WABCRadiostore.com, click on personalities, and get something there, whether you get the bundle or something else. I said that I was going to go on Facebook now and beg people to buy something. Again, I don't get any money from this, but it's a cool thing to see people wearing all this Other Side of Midnight or Racket Report or the Moranos swag all over town. By the way, I know we have a lot of people that I'm related to that are watching this video right now that share my last name, siblings, parents, cousins. Check out the Moranos merchandise. It is pretty cool on there if your last name is Morano. So please do us a favor and check this out. I also saw Joseph asks, is there a way to get a copy of your theme song from your friend that wrote it, The Rest of the Soul? Yeah, I should. Joseph, again, if you email me, I should be able to get you a copy of that. No problem. There's no problem. Rob, about the online store, maybe if you autograph a picture of yourself, it will entice people to buy it. It comes with an autographed picture, and nobody's buying the bundle. Nobody. So please buy something. Marianne says, howdy, right back at you, Marianne. Thank you. She's watching on the YouTube. Yeah, we got about 2 people watching on the YouTube, 18 people on the Facebook, and 29 people on Twitter, or I know they call it now X. I still call it Twitter. Please be so good if you're on Facebook to share this video. If you're on the YouTube, click retweet or repost, and that'll help more people find it. If you're on YouTube, just click like. That will help us out a bit. Okay. In terms of what else did I have to bring to your attention before my son wakes up and I try and get some other stuff done before he wakes up? I'm going to make a trip to the bank. Got to make a trip to the post office. Going to mail in some of these Robert F. Kennedy Jr. petitions. Oh, I don't know if you saw big news today. I don't know that I'll get to this tonight, but look, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. just made the ballot in Texas. Now, this is huge because of the incredible burden that Texas has for independent candidates. it is one of the toughest states, other than probably New York, to get on the ballot on. And he has made the ballot in Texas. Now, that's big because this is a huge electoral vote state. So now he's made it in California, he's made it in Texas. And so what this is looking, first of all, I think he's going to make it in all 50 states and DC by the end of July, which is an incredible achievement for a third party or independent candidate in this day and age. So it's extraordinary. But what makes it more extraordinary is by him being on the ballot in enough states to theoretically win, and by him being over 15% in the polls, he's going to qualify for the presidential debates if those debates take place. And that will be a game changer if he's actually able to make it to those debates. So I'm pretty excited about that. And even if you don't like Robert F. Kennedy Jr., I think you would agree that he brings an important perspective to the debates, that if it's just Trump versus Biden, who knows if Biden will debate, but if it's just Trump versus Biden, you won't see those points brought up. So I think everybody should, I think everybody should help folks, should hope that he qualifies for that debate stage. Samuel, I hate how Gmail sorts mail after you read it. I send my 70-year-old mom an important email. She reads it and then moves itself to a different folder, and then she can't find it. Takes an hour for me to help track down where it went. Yeah, there are some problems with Gmail. Again, a lot of good things, but overall, look, I guess this is the nature of technology. Everything cuts both ways, positive and negative. All right. If you're watching on Facebook, you can also send stars that will help us out a bit. But what we really want is to do what folks like Leanne Colacurto have done, to do what Joseph Natoli has done, Ellen Metzger, Brandon Lord, and become a subscriber. I'm going to do a special subscriber-only Q&A where I will address some questions about sensitive topics that I can't talk about on the radio and can't talk about here. I'm sure you can imagine what I mean. And I may take you behind the scenes of this cigar fundraiser I'm doing I'm attending for the Cathedral Club at Gargiulo's tonight. I'm a guest of Pat Russo. I'm going to be there with my friend Adam Want. If any of you are going to that, please look for me. Please come say hello. I'd love to see you. Take a picture and the like. And I try not to smoke a cigar before I have to be on the air, meaning same day, because it does mess up your voice a little bit. It makes it a little more scratchy. But I think today, because it's a special occasion, meaning this event for the Cathedral Club, I may look to do that. David Stone, who's a great guy. I'm not able to see your comment, David Stone. So that's that. All right. Anything else that you had on your agenda? Any other questions that you wanted to go over? If you have not caught up on this morning's show, I thought it was a good show. We had Tom Cotter on, who was just phenomenal. He is, for my money, the funniest comedian in America. I had a discussion with Dominic Carter about Jerry Seinfeld and the commencement addresses and that whole thing. And that was an interesting discussion. And then that sort of dovetailed naturally into a discussion with Tom Cotter, who I thought did a great job, not only demonstrating why he's so funny, but giving a reasoned perspective on where comedy is today, the challenges in comedy today, not just in terms of, political correctness or wokeness, whatever you want to call it, but how people see comedy these days and how different it was from when he started 30 or 35 years ago. But I thought it was really interesting. So if you haven't yet heard this morning's show, please go check out the podcast. You could listen to the whole show if you want, just by searching The Other Side of Midnight on any podcast app, or going to wabcradio.com/Frank. And you can also, if you just want to hear that interview with Tom Cotter, go to Frank Morano Interviews and More. Frank Morano Interviews and More. I'm going to read your emails on the air tonight. So if you want to email me, you can just go to email me at frank.morano@redappleaudionetworks.com. And if it's a question that's interesting or a question that's creative or good, email me and I'll try and address it on the air. Or if it's just a comment. If you have a comment that says, hey, Frank, the show's the greatest thing ever because of X, or if Frank, this is the worst show of all time because of Y, email me there. And I'll do my best to read your comment on the air. Joseph asks, is that restaurant still owned by the original owners, Frank? Yeah, At Gargiulo's, yeah. Yeah, you know what? I'll go there tonight, and I'll break away for a few minutes and do one of these Facebook subscriber only videos. So if you're a subscriber, you'll be able to see that. If you're not a subscriber, you should become one. You know, for some reason, Christina Riker, David Stone, I am not, and a couple other people, I'm not, Leanne, one of her comments, I'm not able to see your comments. I don't know why that's the case. I'm sure after I end this video, I'll be able to see it. But do us a solid and react to this video and encourage folks to, to check it out. It's going to be interesting. Michael Cohen testifying in this Trump trial today. You know, I knew Michael Cohen. I don't want to say well, but I knew him fairly well when he was working for Donald Trump, and he was an interesting guy. Is an interesting guy. I mean, he came across as kind of this mixture of a wannabe Clarence Darrow and a wannabe Tony Soprano. He's very much into being a tough guy. Thank you, Leanne, and for sharing this. I appreciate that. And so I can't imagine, just because the guy has such a checkered history and he has so many credibility issues, I can't imagine he does well under cross-examination, but we'll see. I have some people in the courtroom now. I'll see about getting them to give us a field report later today. Although I know a lot of people need a break from what's going on with this Trump trial and are hoping, hoping for other things. But I am personally curious to see how he withstands cross-examination and how that goes. Tomorrow is the anniversary of the passing of Frank Sinatra. I'm a big Frank Sinatra fan, not only of his music, but his acting and his incredible, I don't know how you describe it, his incredible personality and charisma and charm. And I'm working on putting together a Frank Sinatra roundtable of some sort for tomorrow morning as well. So I've got a lot of good Frank Sinatra experts now. Whenever you're dealing with Frank Sinatra experts, because Sinatra itself, it was a larger than life personality. A lot of the Frank Sinatra experts are pretty larger than life personalities as well. So I reached out to a lot of folks that were great, and already I'm starting to see a little bit of, okay, well, I don't want to come on if he's coming on. I don't want to come on if he's coming on. So I'm trying to navigate that. But we'll have two or three good people, probably, maybe just one good person, two or three good people to talk Frank Sinatra tonight. And hopefully we'll have a good discussion about Frank Sinatra, his music, his life, his legacy, and how he's influenced the music of today. So looking forward to that conversation very much. Share this video. Do us a favor. Do us a solid. If you have not yet seen the video interview I did with Jeffrey Lichtman, that video is now available for everybody. So you could go to my YouTube channel. I know at least two of you are on there right now, and you can see, or at least one of you, you could see that interview with Jeffrey Lichtman, who is a brilliant attorney and somebody that I've known a long time. Hard to believe how long, but over 20 years. And we got into the El Chapo case. We got into the John Gotti Jr. case, and we got into the Trump case, the Trump election, and a lot of stuff that people are, we even touched upon the P. Diddy case, because he's representing P. Diddy's sons in the most recent situation. So if you didn't see that interview yet and you're not a subscriber, please check it out. I mean, his comments on the Ultimate Warrior alone, that's him behind the Ultimate Warrior, were really interesting. So that's all. If you're not a subscriber, you could see the whole thing for free on YouTube. Not only that, but the recent video interview that I did with Ron Kuby, which I thought was also interesting. If you have thoughts on this Gmail situation, how I can get rid of this unread email notification, because those of you like me that have these sort of, I don't like to use the term OCD, because there are real people that have severe OCD that can't do anything if they haven't walked exactly 17 steps or washed their hands 900 times a day. And that's paralyzing. I don't have that. But I do have a problem with one unread email. I really do. I have a problem with something like that, right? And it's killing me to have this unread email notification. I don't want to say it's all I can think about because it's not, but it is a tremendous distraction. I'm trying to get to 0 unread emails, and Gmail seems to be making it impossible. So there's that. All right. Um, please, please share this video, and we'll see about what else we come up with today when I'm at Gargiulo's for the subscriber video. David, I'd imagine you'll have Piscopo. I will not, David. Honestly, Joe is a great guy, but the hours are very tough for Joe, and I know because I work those hours with Joe. So I would not ask him to be awake at 2 a.m. when he's starting a show that's on at 6 a.m. It's not fair to him, and I wouldn't ask, because if I really asked, Joe would maybe try to do it, and that screws you up for a whole day to do an hour at 2 a.m. when you have to be up at 6 a.m. So no, Joe, I can promise you, will not be on the show. It's not because he's not great, but it's just because it's not fair to ask him to do that when he's got these morning show hours. Cynthia says her daughter loves Frank Sinatra. That's great. That's terrific. I didn't know you had a daughter, Cynthia, but hopefully she takes after you in the looks and the brains department, and not Ralph. Nothing against Ralph, but he is, he pales in comparison, as my son does. Fortunately, he takes after my wife in the looks department as well. He's a very handsome boy, but he's the most Irish looking Carmine Morano you can imagine. All right, please go to the WABC radio store, because as it stands now, I'm looking like a total buffoon here in terms of trying to get them to put up a Frank Morano bundle, and then no one is buying it. So that's pretty embarrassing. Hey, speaking of my son, Carmine, we went to the playground. I guess it was Saturday, and he was going on the monkey bars. He saw some of the other kids going on the monkey bars, but he can't really climb on his own. So I would help him get on the monkey bars, and he was hanging. Look, this is a picture of him hanging on the monkey bars. Now, so he having such a good time. Now, he couldn't really get from one bar to the next, but he really was having such a good time, and I was having an even better time. We went on the slide, and we were just having a good old time. He's such a good boy, and hopefully when he wakes up now, it's a nice day. We can go outside a bit and have some fun. I am going to have to, there's the two of us, I am going to have to go in a little early for this event at Gargiulo's, but hopefully we'll at least get a little bit of time to to be able to hang out a bit. So that's that. All right. Email me. I will read your emails on the air. Frank.Morano at redappleaudionetworks.com. Fred Rubino, another very funny gentleman. Evolutionists say over time they will become human bars. By the way, Fred is going to join me again on the radio Thursday morning, I believe. So if you're a fan of Fred Rubino, check that out. That's going to be interesting. Michael, you said last night you weren't drinking as much. Yeah, you know what it is, Fred? I mean, Michael, I'm not. Honestly, I'm trying to take off a few pounds. And as obviously everybody knows, alcohol is just empty calories. Now, I'm not a teetotaler by any means. I'm just trying to drink much less. I mean, not that I was ever drinking as excessively as someone like Curtis said I was, but, I figured if I'm always complaining about a lack of time or a lack of money, alcohol consumption does not help in any respect. And, I was always someone that went with the conventional wisdom that moderate alcohol consumption actually had some health benefits, and apparently it doesn't. There's some new data that came out that shows no, supposedly it really doesn't, and that the studies that showed that they were misleading because the people that were moderate alcohol consumers, glass or two of wine every day, they tended to be a little wealthier. And when you're a little wealthier, you have better health outcomes. You do things like go to the doctor more regularly and whatever else. So if you adjust for socioeconomic factors, there are no health benefits to moderate alcohol consumption. Unfortunately, believe me, I wish there were. I'd be tanked right now. So that's that. All right. Unless there, Fred asks, are there any official Morano pajamas available to wear while listening? Fred, that is a great idea, but I really can't go back to these folks right now and say, hey, can you make some Morano pajamas available when no one is buying the stuff that's already available? So help us out and buy some of this stuff so that I can go and make that suggestion for Frank Morano pajamas. Oh, by the way, whatever you buy on the WABC radio store, even if it's not my stuff, if you use the promo code Frank15, you can save 15% off on whatever you end up buying. All right, we're going to go wake up my son. He's got 5 minutes left past the point of no return. And I appreciate those of you that are sharing this. I saw on Facebook that if you have 60,000 minutes viewed of videos that you've produced in the last 60 days, then you qualify for another level of monetization. I mean, it's practically the keys to a Robin Leach style mansion from Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. So if everybody can share this video, we'll get closer to those 60,000. We'll get closer to those 60,000 views necessary. For instance, this is 60,000, not views, minutes viewed. So this video is 30 minutes. So if 1,000 people watch every minute of this, then we're halfway there. So share this video if you can and have everybody watch this. All right, the groceries just arrived. And help my wife put away some of them. And I guess that's it. All right. Email me if you have questions. Patronize the WABC radio store. Thank you, Cynthia, for sharing. You're wonderful. We may invite Ralph back on the show. I don't understand. Ralph is such an interesting guy, and he's always asking me to be on the show, but he never wants to come in studio. Why not? Why not? What else is he doing at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning? Why won't he come in studio? It's just not the same. As Fred will tell you, who always comes in studio, flies up from Florida to come on the show. I don't understand why he won't come in studio, but let's keep the negotiations going. And we're probably overdue to have him on, even if it is only by phone. All right. I will see you on the radio.